Yo, Rated Raw Reactions. We in the building today. We finna react to some Kevin Samuels. I ain't want to do too much Kevin Samuels because it's a little obvious, but rest in peace to the Godfather. Kevin Samuels was a man that I probably agree with 80 to 85% of the stuff he said. I didn't agree with everything he said, and I don't think anybody agrees with 100% of anything anybody says, but I wanted to get into this video and look at some of his highlights. And I don't want to go too heavy on the Kevin Samuels, but I think some of the talking points that came about from the conversations that he carried are very, very valid to dating in today's life. And I'm not here to give dating or marriage advice per se, but I think it's just good to offer a perspective on some of this stuff that's not your typical everyday manosphere, red pill thought process. I'm not red pill, I'm not blue pill, I'm like in the middle. I understand why a lot of these men feel the way they feel, but on the flip side, I feel like some of these women out here aren't given a fair shake per se, based on the loud minority that is out there, if that makes sense to you. So we're gonna get up in this video, we're gonna get it cooking, and let's go.
Hello, I'm here.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 38. I'm about to be 38.
What's your disagreement?
My disagreement is with the qualities of a high value man. I didn't hear one thing listening to your live streams. Does that include a strong erection? And that's an honest question. Because a high value man of an older age can.
Now, Kev kind of cut her off and he didn't hear her out. But that's one of the things I disagree with him with, because I think a major part of marriage for the man or the woman is sex. I feel like there has to be some pleasure there. There has to be some want to there, because now, granted, that may be the only box somebody may not check, but to just dismiss how important that is, and I've heard him say that before, that it's not a man's job to make a woman, you know, for lack of a better word, orgasm. I don't want to dirty my channel by speaking in that manner, but that's what it is. But I disagree with that. I feel as though that's part of the sanctity of marriage and being with somebody, especially when you have a man like Kevin of his status, his stature, who made it clear that high value men don't cheat. They exercise their options. So with that being said, as a high value man, if you're out there exercising those options, and you're taking that time and putting forth sexual energy towards other women, you at least should give that much to your wife. Give her that much. Because then you're going to wild out if it come to find out that your wife's not being faithful because that's something that she wanted that you weren't willing to provide. Now, I don't like the fact that he dismissed her in this, because I think it's a fair and valid question. I think it's fair and valid to expect the man, quote unquote, high value man, to perform in that manner.
Kimberly, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's your disagreement? God forbid your husband would come home tomorrow and say, I want a divorce. And he serves your papers and you divorce inside of 90 days. Would you keep those 60 pounds on?
No,
Why?
because I got to get back out there, I guess.
Oh, damn. So basically you're telling your husband is because the price for you staying in this marriage is me having this additional 60 pounds. But if you were to leave me, I'd lose it.
I am working to get it off, though. I am working to get it off.
Yeah, she's nuts. That's crazy and mind-boggling to think that you understand the need for you being fit and feminine and all those other buzzwords if you were back on the open market, but you don't feel as though you need to provide that for your husband. Now, granted, whether he made it an issue or not, that's up to him. But I just think that that's just silly to me. That's silly. But let's continue.
I just gave it to you, plain and simple. I let you
Yeah.
resolve that. And when I say go back to your ex, you say no, 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 no. Well, ma'am, you made babies with him.
Yeah, but I was young. I feel like that's not fair. I was very young. We all make mistakes.
That was pathetic.
Say that again.
I said, I feel like that's not fair because we all make mistakes. And I was young and now I'm older.
You're 25 years old and you feel like that's not fair. Ma'am, you sound like a...
What?
Bitch, if you want a burger,
Get your burger.
eat a burger. Bitch, if you want a french fry,
Get your french fry.
get a french fry.
I mean, seriously, ma'am. I feel like that's not fair.
I don't know.
That's not something an adult says. It's like I'm talking to a high schooler. And oftentimes, when people have a trauma in their life, that's where they emotionally stop developing. You had your children, you got pregnant at 17,
Yes.
and that's probably where you stopped emotionally developing. And you have 2 boys you're raising.
Mm-hmm.
Your priority needs to be to make sure that they get a good start in life.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Bars by the Godfather per the norm. I mean, I understand how she feels. But it's one thing to feel that way and be young. But once you're 25, you're old enough to understand that to an extent, your feelings don't matter in that situation. Especially if the situation with your son's father is salvageable. Now you have situations that are salvageable and you have situations that aren't. But it sounded just from that little clip that was possibly a salvageable situation. But to hide behind the gaze that you were young and you made mistakes and you did that, it doesn't change what the reality is that you need moving forward. Let's see what the next video hitting for.
Understand something. If you are a single man with no children and you are earning $75,000 or more, you are now platinum. Shout out to platinum. If you're making 6 figures or more, you are now diamond level. If you're making $55,000 to $60,000, you are gold. You are far more valuable than you have ever been. And here's the trick. You guys don't know how valuable you are. And that is why so many of my critics and detractors are angry at me, because I am waking men up to their true value. That's why they want me shut up. That's why they want me off this. They don't, because of the impact it's having upon right-thinking men and right-thinking women. It is making it more and more, it's making it less and less possible for men to get bad deals. That's why every day I walk out in this world, I get love from men. Every single day. Shout out to the two young dudes. Hadn't even hit puberty yet. No offense, but y'all still look young to me. They could barely get the words out. Those dudes had to be 14, 15. Those men are going to have a different outcome because they're not going to accept bad deals.
That's definitely one thing Kev brought to the table as far as black men in particular, bringing back the confidence in a certain generation. Like, especially when you consider the fact that men in general have been beat up on for a very, very long time. Outside of the quote unquote manosphere, where else would men have gotten positive reinforcement? Like, where? Before YouTube, before all this stuff. Like, I think about growing up in the 90s and the 2000s. Where would you get it from? Where would you get positive male enforcement? I literally can't think of anywhere. But let's move on.
Are you not equal? Are you not equal citizens? Are you not adults?
Equal? I wouldn't say equal.
I said equal citizens.
Equal citizens?
Yes.
Depending on how you define equal citizens.
Equal citizens. Do you not have the same rights in this country as a man?
Not necessarily.
What rights do you have? What rights don't you have that a man does?
Aborting a baby.
What rights don't you have that a man does?
Don't we have? I have to think of that.
You see, that's the answer. You don't. No, ma'am. I asked you 3 times. There are no rights that you don't have that a man does. And actually, you made my point even when you misheard me. You have some rights that a man doesn't have because you can abort a child. You can make me a parent even if I don't want to be. Thank you for proving my point.
I look like a tiger, but I have the mindset of a lion. Like I'm struggling with that.
You're 27. You're neither.
I'm neither. How do I prepare?
What? You're 27. Prepare to what? Be a lion? To run a pride?
No.
You're not ready. Are you ready to be a husband?
Mentally, I would say I'm like 70%.
Look here, man. See, the fact of the matter that you even had to split this into categories says no. Why can't you just accept the fact that you're not ready?
Yeah, I know I'm not ready.
Then get out of the conversation. You're not in a husband relationship conversation. So why are you trying to get women to look at you in a way that you're not?
Because those are my goals for the future, and I understand.
Mother French toast. I don't care about your future. It's 8 years away.
Okay.
What did your daddy say about it?
What's that? My dad?
What does your dad say about this stuff?
I don't speak to my father.
Thank you. Because you're going at this conversation like a
Really? I'm
like
not
a woman. Because how many times I've had to raise my voice and got to a place where I'm chastising because I've told you, you're not ready yet.
I understand that, Kevin.
You're trying, and this is what happens to so many young black men because we don't have fathers and we're not juniors. We are trying to become men before time, and we think we're trying to do all this stuff too soon. You're not ready.
I understand
it's a goal of yours. If you're in the 4th grade and the goal of yours is to go to college, you don't start filling out applications. Guys, there is nothing wrong with not being ready.
That's today's video. I hope you liked it. Like, subscribe. The video I picked wasn't I didn't want to go, head first into the Kevin Samuels content. I wanted to, ease my way in there. So the video, it wasn't one of his more entertaining cuts, but, something to get my feet wet. Hopefully I can hit y'all with a banger next time. Do the YouTube thing for me, like, subscribe, do all that for me, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.